Just along the trail, seen some really neat stuff. There's like what looks like a little orchid over there, and we found some mushrooms and all kinds of neat little things. I know I'm going to have a fire, so when I see readily available natural tinder, I have a hard time not just, you know, grabbing the stuff that I find. This birch bark, I don't get a whole lot of this where I live, so anytime I have it available, I like to use it. It's like a easy mode for fire or whatever. This is a little trout stream here that's supposed to be one of the better trout streams in the Upper Peninsula. I haven't seen anything swim by, but then again, I don't really have a license, so I wouldn't be fishing anyway. But this is something to keep an eye on for later. I might come back and do some trout fishing. Looks like there's a little beaver dam there, possibly. Have to look for some beaver damaged trees, and do some camping back in here. This is kind of a neat little area. So I was wrong. It's not a beaver dam. It looks like just some trees washed up here and created a little dam. I don't see any evidence of beavers around here, and it's been there a long time though, because the stream is like pretty much rerouting around it and stuff. Okay, so this is really cool. I think I know what this is, but this is the first time I've ever found one of these in the wild. Again, because I live too far south to be able to find these. But what we've got here is a birch tree, and it's next to water. And I found this kind of charred looking growth, and I see some orange at the base here. And I think I know what this is. So you see it's kind of growing out of the side here, and it's orange at the base. And I'm going to take this knife and kind of pry it off. And you see this stuff here. I think, I'm sure there's a lot of people that know a lot more than I do that can tell me for sure. And if you know for sure, tell me in the comments. But I think this is a tinder fungus. Again, this is just keeping your eyes open when you're walking through the woods. One of the reasons I think that is because of that orange fungus, and because this is growing on a live tree. And the other thing is if you look along the sides here, this is birch tree, this is birch tree, and it looks like there was a wound here and up there. So I think this was a wound at one point, and then a tinder fungus grew in here. So I'm just gonna see if I can carve a little chip of this out just to see if I'm right about this being that. But yeah, I think so. So here's a tree that's kind of just loaded with these little mollusk looking things, and I'm not positive. Again, this doesn't grow where I live, so I just don't have enough familiarity to be able to tell you, but this one might be what's called the false tinder fungus. I'm going to take a couple of these as well. Okay, this is what I've harvested. I'm not positive, but I think this is the false tinder fungus, and I think I remember more saying that these are processed by boiling them with ashes and things. Well, it's lunchtime, and these are the falls. I hope you don't mind the noise too much, but I thought this would be kind of a neat spot to show you what I'm going to cook on. I bought this setup from Four Dog Stove. This is the Moore's Kahansky pot. And I've used the pot a lot. It's got this nice little handle if you're going to suspend it over a fire. It's got this. And it's about the right amount of volume for me, for about 2 people to heat water and have like a nice little shore lunch like I'm about to have here. Now on the inside here, I think, I might be forgetting the exact model name, but I think this is the Bushcooker 3, and it fits real nicely down inside the pot, and it also fits my little fire kit. And I've never used this stove before, so this is the stove warming. I did see a lot of the prototypes of this up at the Karamat Wilderness Ways course. and I got to look at those and play with those, and this pretty high-tech little piece of equipment. It's got, you know, like little vents, and supposedly works a lot like a wood gasifier. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find some just some wood just around here to be able to fire this up. Theoretically, I should be able to you know, find some twigs on the underside of some of these standing pine trees, and you know, if that wasn't enough wood, you could always just go and find some standing dead wood. But to boil, you know, 4 cups or so of water, should easily be able to find just enough twigs to make this work. So I'll be back. So for lunch today, I've got a buddy along. He's kind of camera shy. I've got a couple of these meals. This one you add 2 cups of water. This one you add 2 1/4. And I've got a quart of water here plus a little extra. This is what we'll use to make our food. Trying to get it on some level ground here. Now I've got my birch bark. I'm going to take some of this and put it in the bottom there. Now I've got a little metal base down, and hopefully that'll help protect the ground a little bit. I'm not too concerned. I've got water down there. If there's any problem at all, I can dump that out. I've got some of this fine scrub stuff from the bottom of these pine trees around here. Just going to try this stuff, see how it works. A lot of this is kind of trial and error. Now I'm going to cheat even further. I'm going to use, since I've got it along, I'm going to use one of these Vaseline cotton balls. I carry tinder with me, and you know, all the early trappers and all that, you know, everybody idolizes them. They carried tinder too. That's just part of being smart in the woods. So I don't mind using a little tinder now and again, and sometimes it's hard to get the stuff out of there though. Let's see, I'll put that there. Pull this out of there. Now I got this these Vaseline cotton balls. I'll fluff this out a little bit, tuck it down in there, and we'll see what we can do here. Got a little wind. Yeah, this birch bark and the little twigs are catching great. Yeah, this won't be any problem at all to get a nice little fire going here. I probably packed it too full, but oh well, what can you do? We'll let that get a little head of steam there. I'm going to add some a little bit thicker stuff and try not to get caught on fire. I don't want to be in a fail video. There we go. A bit more. Actually, I'm going to just go ahead and put a stick or two in. This thing is jeepers. That thing is cranking. I'll just put these sticks in. I'm going to set this up here and see what it does. We're cooking right along. It's using the fuel pretty efficiently. I'm just going to maintain this. I don't want it to burn out or anything. I think this is probably, after I add this is going to be more than enough fuel. My water's warm. It's not quite simmering yet, but I expect it will be shortly. And you know, with these little stoves, it's always so cool. You don't have to buy one, you can make one. or you know, you can make your own design or whatever, but it's always cool to be able to just find a few twigs and be able to get dinner out of it. Well, I've got boiling water, and I'm going to go ahead and get our dinners ready here. Now that took a while, and thinking about it, there's probably a couple reasons for that. Number one, I didn't pack in the windscreen, so you know it's not set up as efficiently as it could be. Number two, the wood that I'm using is a little bit damp because it's rained up here recently. So you know the conditions aren't ideal. So there's a lot of guys that have videos of these things that are boiling water in like crazy times. And I've actually, before I bought this, I saw this stove boil water in like no time at all. Like it was pretty unbelievable how quickly it boiled water. But these are less than ideal conditions, and you know, this is when you see how it's going to do. Like when you're, ooh, there's more than a couple things in here. There's peanut butter. What does it say to do? Add the peanut butter and the peanuts and all that, and go to town. Well, anyway, the other problem with a cooker this size, and this is something when I was playing around with these cookers, is that when you're burning wood in them, and that's the size of your firebox, it's hard to get enough calories going at once and for long enough to get your water boiling, because there's only so much mass of wood in there that's going to be burning at one time. And you know, you kind of get to the point where you're out of juice, and then you have to load more wood in there, which means, you know, you have to take the thing off, and by the time it's all said and done, it takes a fair amount of wood and a fair amount of time to get things boiling with a smaller firebox like that. But under ideal conditions, these things go like crazy. So you know, the guys that are burning these in their basement, you know, with like hexane fuel and all these crazy things that you see the videos, you know, it worked pretty well. I was pretty satisfied with it. It's fun. You know, potential uses for something like that is like today, you know, I'm just hiking. I didn't want to commit to a full campfire or any of that. Wanted to use natural materials, boil a little bit of water, use pot instead of another thing, and you know, something like that, it's perfect. You can use alcohol fuel in there, you can use stuff like that. So it's a pretty versatile stove for that sort of a situation. There's a stove, if all you want to do is boil water and you don't care about the ability of having a pot for other uses. Another stove that I have that has really, really good efficiency, boils water like crazy, really fast, but it's kind of bulky, is that Kelly kettle. And I think I have the medium or the Scout model or something like that. And that thing will boil water like you've never seen before, but again, it's bulky. This is a little smaller. You have to monkey with it a bit. You know, it's a trade-off. You got to think of it in those terms, and see if you want the pot, you know, to hang over a real fire. You know, there's all kinds of considerations to keep in mind when you're choosing your gear. I'm gonna let these sit up and have some food here in a minute. I'm gonna go ahead and just put this out so I don't burn down the whole state of Michigan. Make good and sure there's no potential. One of the reasons I chose to sit next to the stream is because there's more water, and after I get this poured on and let it sit a little bit, I'll add some more. Well, we're gonna hike a little bit while those meals are rehydrating. We got kind of sick of it. It looks like he's found another huge tinder fungus that I missed. This is a little bigger bigger specimen here. I'm going to see if I can pry this out of there without hurting the tree and without breaking it apart. It'd be neat to get this as one big clump. Let's see here. See, this is an injured area of the tree. Sometimes in the woods, it's probably not cool, but sometimes you do end up using your knife as another tool, like a pry bar. It helps to have a nice sturdy knife so you don't break it. Probably shouldn't be showing this. It's really wedged in there. I'm just going to take it off. There, see, that's that yellow color that I was looking for on the other one. You better call the knife police. I'm abusing this knife. Back to the trail. We'll stop for our food here. It should be just about ready. So for all you wild edible nuts, there's a wild edible. Some nice little apples. I think I'm going to leave them be though. The squirrels up here are a lot smaller. Unless that's a baby squirrel, that's like a third the size of the squirrels that live where I live. Maybe it's a baby. I guess that's the only... No, there's another one going up that way. Maybe it's just this part of the forest or whatever, but those squirrels are small. Found a nice little picnic table. It's easier to eat when you have a table. So, time to eat. You can eat these out of the bag. I like to have like a cup and a utensil along so I can feel more human-like. This is the pad thai. I've had it before. It's pretty good. Always carry some hot sauce. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.